Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Very inspiring, really. Okay. Next up, I had one person who did not come in, and let me see if I can find their name again before we introduce our final reader for this set. Where is she? Catherine Clark. Did Catherine Clark enter the room? Do we have Catherine Clark here? Okay, well, next I have the great pleasure of introducing, I call her my wife. She's a very dear old friend and a really formidable poet, the Stephanie J.T. Russell. Can you unmic and come to the window? Come to the window.
I don't see a Stephanie, Joanie. I'm sorry.
She drop out. Stephanie J.T. Russell. Okay. Something must have come up for her. I'll try to get her back. I saw her earlier. All right, then do we have time for Kate to read another quick poem, or shall we move?
Hello.
Ah,
I
there
was
you are.
not allowed to unmute before.
Oh, well, now you're on.
Now
Wow.
I am.
Yeah, hi, wife. How are you?
I'm really well, and I'm delighted to be here. And it's been wonderful to hear so much fine work and just really, really fantastic. I'm wondering
want
if
to
I
just
could
tell
be
you,
allowed to share an image that I'd like you to see while I am reading.
yes, let me just read your introduction, and why don't you
Sure.
get that image up, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Great. All right, sweetie. Um, Dutchess County Poet Laureate 2325, prize-winning poet and interdisciplinary artist Stephanie J.T. Russell has been published in numerous journals and anthologies. You got your image?
I'm looking for it and allows in workspace to system settings. Okay, blah, 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 blah. There we go. All right. Okay, I'm sorry for the delay. Oh, now Zoom won't let me record. You know, it's very strange. Okay, so let me see if it allows me now. There we go. So let's go to, give me just a moment. I wasn't sure how to do this without,
There we go. We're getting it.
are we getting it?
Danielle.
Okay, so I wish to bring in this image. Can you see it?
Yeah, you want to enlarge it?
Yes.
Ah, there we go. Great.
Okay, folks, sorry for the little admin glitch there, but it was important to me to share this image from which the poem I'm going to read was inspired by my longtime dear friend and collaborator, David Kulik, brilliant photographer. And this is a photograph David took of his father in 1971. Can you still see it?
No.
Okay. I don't know what's really, there we go. I'm not sure what you're seeing versus what I'm seeing.
We're seeing his photo, and we're seeing your desktop and part of the poem.
Okay, very good. So, this poem was written, I always loved this piece, and when Dave and I did a new collaboration in 2019, I specifically requested that he send me this image. The poem, which is titled Dad in Kitchen at Sunrise, 1971, is now missing from my desktop.
What's the photo? We've seen it, okay, because we're,
Yeah.
and
No,
just read the poem.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
looking for the poem now, so
It's,
give me a moment.
yeah, no worries.
This has been a little confusing because it was different than when I've shared screens before, so give me a moment
Sure.
just to call it up again. And okay, I don't know why it disappeared, but some strange things have happened here with this actual Zoom meeting.
We've all had these moments, so everybody just stand by.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think we're all pretty patient.
Well, we've all had these moments, or most of us.
Yeah.
Maybe not the youngins.
Okay.
Poetry
This is
20.
really embarrassing,
Oh, no, honey.
but
Don't.
this is important to me to read this poem. Here we go. All right.
Ah, there we go.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share. Okay. Fun. Now, this poem was written as a kind of persona piece in the first person, with the poet taking the voice of the father in the photograph. And it's dedicated to the generation that went before most of us here who are boomers. And it is called Dead in Kitchen at Sunrise, 1971. Funny, I find myself thinking, how a whole life is seen from here, through eyes not absolutely my own anymore. Every morning I am the one who reaches for the pendant switch over the table, alone and fine with that. I enter, watch my hand as if it were some drifter's from the breadlines of my youth. He makes his way in unheard at dead of night. He sits at my table under the darkened lamp. He takes nothing but the precious hiss of our exhales scattered down the hall. Then, soon as he hears my footsteps and the carrot of floorboards under my feet, he shuffles out through the mudroom, back to the train yard and his company of men, waiting for a boxcar to haul them where their ship, not mine, will not come in same time every day. The words perfect stranger were invented for that guy. Perfect stranger, the way you turn on that light as if I wasn't even here. The last dark removes itself into the same trees, packed into the same little window, like bales of flowery light. Trees, light, hobo in the night, their strange comforts reveal that all is preserved, like the pears we stopped canning after there were too many to feed so few left under this roof. I hear the others stirring in their beds. Don't tell me no one else is here nowadays. The pine doors reluctantly crack open to begin a day like this one. This has always been the only one. I pretend I see nothing. I say nothing of us doing the same things over and over. It doesn't matter if I tire of watching the things are done anyway. First boy's first bath in the kitchen sink, muddy shoes scrambling over waxy linoleum, silence at table when there should have been talk, talk over table when silence would have made a kind of difference I haven't got words to define. I say nothing of the drifter whose shoulder grazes mine on his way out each and every morning. I keep waiting for one of us to look back at the other. But the light's been turned on. It's on, and everything dissolves in its steady, unchanging haze.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pino. I would like to just recall Howard Flancer. I understand he's here now, and he will be the last reader in this section. Howard, are you here? Howard, please unmute yourself.
He is here.
I'm looking for him.
He's muted.
Howard, I'm pressing a button,
Ah.
and it should say the host is asking you to unmute.
Yes, you are. Yes, you're unmuted. And can you give us a visual?
No, he's not unmuting.
You are. Oh, he's not unmuting, but he's here.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
Howard.
All right, I'm ready.
Hi, 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 hi.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Let me just read your bio. And this is Howard Flancer, an old colleague and friend. And let me find your bio. Yes, Howard Flancer is a poet. He wrote Dead Birds and Avian Blues, and a playwright who has performed his poems from New York to Mumbai with award-winning plays produced in the US, Poland, and India. Welcome, Howard.
Thank you. I'm going to read two poems. One is an incident which disturbed me greatly, and the poem illustrates it. Pigeon eggs. The pigeons in the air conditioner duct zealously guarding the two eggs, a nest filled with twigs, shit, and family love. The male was carrying another twig dropped when he was startled by the interruption. They flew away, eyeing the nest from afar. I cleared away the twigs and eggs. I felt terrible, destroying their lives. It wasn't a home for them, and they didn't know it. Here's another poem. It's called ignorance. When you pretend it isn't happening, will not happen, it could not possibly happen, then collective amnesia colonizes the mind. Atrocities are lies. The truth is much more simple. You deny it. We are drowning in it. We are bathing in blood, and we don't feel it. Denial is easy when you feel the world is all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you. It's really beautiful. All right. It is now incumbent upon me to introduce our next special presenter, and an old friend and colleague, Dorothy Friedman August. Dorothy, you want to unmute yourself and come to the screen? Dorothy? Dorothy!
I hear you. I'm
Hi,
dealing with technology too, don't forget.
Please, you're telling me. Okay.
Anyway,
I want to introduce Dorothy Friedman August. She is a widely published award-winning poet, editor, and teacher who has published 2 books of poetry with 2 forthcoming, The L-Shaped Room and As If, and Then Press. She's also completing a memoir, The Bastard Heirs, and publishes White Rabbit. And the next issue of that is going to be dedicated to Kenneth Koch and Koch. Anyway, yes, welcome, Dorothy, my old friend. Thank you.
thank you, Joanie, very much. I'm enjoying hearing everybody's work. It's a wonderful reading. And Joanie and I know each other from the 80s when I worked for Judith Molina and the Living Theater People, of which Joanie was one of the main actors. So it's a great pleasure to be here again. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to read a couple of short poems of my own and then introduce some wonderful people. This is, I hope you can see this.
Yeah.
This is a photo by Gary Azon of a baby with a gun in its lap. That will be included in my As If collection. Okay. Okay, so, right. Okay, so, the first poem I'm reading is the short poems. It's called, To What Is Not Yet America. To the hands reaching out to what is not yet America, I say, we are here, buried under the rubble of politicians and police, under Confederate and Union flags, under the burial grounds of massacred Iroquois and Pawnee, buried under the spirits of our forefathers, reaching out to us from the other America yet to be born. So this poem actually is called, another poem, it's called On the Heart and the City and How They Are Disconnected, and it's was published in an anthology by George Wallace, New York City from the Inside. On the heart and the city and how they are disconnected. So this is what you get from your mother, the belly under the underbelly in the off-putting terrain of the heart. So never get old, never worsen, she said, and don't listen to how the ash cans rumble. Just flutter your eyelashes at the leaves and don't pick up leaflets about the poor huddling in alleyways and street corners under stained mattresses. Just skip off to the mayor's office and ask him to account for the deceit of the city. Let us dream then of decay over a decaf, hang out at Pret a Manger or Pawn or Chocolat on sweltering dog day afternoons instead of marching in one official door and out another, brandishing words like swords and wearing buttons pinned to our shirts that say, resist, never speak of the downside of silence. And there's a postscript, I suppose you could say, is called What Can We Say? Very short. It's stumbling past my own shadow. I see myself in the wall-eyed finch and the fierce-eyed falcon. I see myself in the women who stumble, tear off a piece of sky and eat it, and become taller. And I ask them, am I part of you? Am I part of the world with its graveyards and robots? And I see the women and they say and answer, what can we say to the planet after we have pulverized it with bombs and missiles, after we have disintegrated it to dust, after we have pulverized it with missiles and drone strikes? What can we say to the mountains? Thank you very much, everybody. It's hard to read after such amazing people here that just read, but those poems will be in my collection. So now, what's happening?
You're going to be introducing people in your
I know, but something happened with my transmission. Right, so, okay. I had everything together here. Just a minute, we'll get it back. Must be under here. I noticed that when I was organizing readings, even at the Living Theater and ABC No Rio, the difficulty in both organizing readings, introducing, and also reading. I always, because I tend to actually like to focus on my readers, so, you know, that's it. So, but I like to welcome everybody and welcome the readers. The first reader that we have this afternoon is the amazing Susan Sherman, who recently published Women in Independent Publishing, which is an interview, a tribute to Icon magazine, which she is the founder of for very many years, by Sinister Wisdom, issue 136. Poetry in Dangerous Times is a book, a collection of poems that she is doing with Demetria Martinez, which will be out in September 2025. And I'll let you hear her. She is amazing. Susan Sherman.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear and see you. I can.
Okay, good, as long as you can.
Here you are.
Okay, one poem I'm going to read. A poem that starts in winter. This is a poem for people without a history, whatever their color, whatever their race, who can't remember their mother ever holding them, talking to them about their past, who find themselves in unknown places, without instructions and without a guide. This is a poem for the children of immigrants whose parents wanted so much to forget, to leave behind the places they were born, the places they fled. They never spoke of those days to their children, never even told them their grandparents' names, who died leaving their children lost and restless, rootless, hungry. This is a poem that starts in winter but never ends, a poem about people, about individuals with specific features, proper names. This is a poem for Sarah, whose mother was Jewish, but no one could tell. She had blonde hair, blue eyes. It was 1939. She taught Sarah a lesson about vision, how to make people see past you, how to hide. In moments of doubt, they would always throw it in your face. You could count on it. Dirty Jew. This is a poem about words. This is a poem about Sarah's mother, who never stepped inside a synagogue after the age of 8, who never forgave her own parents for what she was born, an immigrant, poor, who lived her contradictions until the day she died, who left her lie behind her, a legacy drawn in her daughter's face. This is a poem for Sarah's mother, a poem about words. This is a poem for Brenda, 1961, whose father warned her if she was involved with those radicals at Berkeley, those Reds, he would be the first to give her name to the FBI, to turn her in. She never doubted he was serious. She learned that day never to trust and never to speak. This is a poem about trust. This is a poem for Carol, who cried out in shame, discovering her ancestors had killed and robbed to gain a country. Carol, who had a history she no longer wished to claim. This is a poem for a Vietnamese poet, Havana, 1969, who praised 3 young Americans for their courage, standing against their own country, their own people, for what they felt right. He had no choice, was forced to fight, no virtue in that. They thought him too generous, mistaken at best, but still it helped, but still it healed. It was winter then too. This is a poem about drawing images from rage when all else fails, when there is no common past, and anger embedded so deeply it survives. This is a poem about war. This is a poem for Brenda, who fell in love with a woman years before it became a political act, who decades later still stumbles over words long forbidden, jealous of those who proclaim their love nonchalantly, lesbian. This is a poem for Brenda. This is a poem about words, a poem about winter, a poem about war. This is a poem for those caught between worlds, squeezed between times, for people without a history who connect with no ancestral past. This is a poem about them, about me. This is a poem about words like dialogue, compassion, which have yet to appear, but people, this poem, about war, contradiction, rage, choice, anger, trust. This is a poem that starts in winter but never ends. This is a poem about people, individuals with specific features, proper names. That's it.
Is that, are you finished, Susan?
Yep.
That's
Oh,
it.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
reading and for reading one of my favorite, all-time favorite poems of yours, although they're all quite marvelous. Thank you again. Our next reader then is Barbara Henning. Is Barbara here? Barbara Henning?
Yes, I'm right here.
Great.
Hi.
Okay, Barbara Henning, who has a new book coming out. I think it's a memoir, actually, on May 4th. She's having a book party in Brooklyn for her book. It's called Girlfriends, right? And
Girlfriend, yeah.
right, she's the author of 6 books of prose and 8 collections of poetry. Most recently, Girlfriend by Hanging Loose Press, 2025. Barbara Henning.
Hi, thanks for inviting me.
Sure.
I just received some copies of the book. This is what it looks like.
Great.
I'm not going to read from it today, but yeah, I mean, they're prose poems and memoir and
Okay.
and a more experimental frame, I guess. I'm going to read from my last book of poems called Digigram. And I'm going to read 2 of them. These were written throughout Trump's first term and before it, and they have dates on them, and they're written, they're prose, but they're all with a lot of dashes, which I explain in the book why. But the first one's called Judge Judy. It was written on November 9th, 216. Judge Judy. In the morning, it's raining, yellow locust leaves on the cement, people silent, stooped over. Difficult to explain the outcome to the children. In yoga class, we are crying. Can't fathom how anyone could listen and still vote for the bully and his macho pigs. Widespread reports of fires, broken windows. 10% of college grads believe Judge Judy is a Supreme Court justice, and they hate Hillary. Europeans have women leaders in social welfare. We have a commander-in-chief in a military industrial complex. As First Lady, they once spit on her, thousands of dead pigs floating down a river in China. They called her a dirty socialist. The thing is, they need universal health care. They need universal mental care. In Union Square, thousands and thousands of pastel Post-it notes growing, a wall of mourning. 9 November 2016. And then I'm going to, this follows along the calendar pretty much, and I'm going to read the last one in the book. It's called We Wait, written on April 24th, 2018, before the midterms. We wait and wait for the wild power of nature. Om Namah Shivaya. Anything could happen to turn around, scream out our lungs. Protesters in Gaza under the burning midday sun. Om Namah Shivaya. Gunshots into the crowd. Turn it off, turn it on. Social programs slashed, corporate greed, protections for the environment eliminated. The EPA rolls back, and David Buchel self-immolates in the meadow in the park. Om Namah Shivaya. This winter, the coldest since 1961. Every day when I hit the sidewalk, I think it will never end. And yet, slowly and surely, the temperature will rise and the might and mystery of the cold wind will surely spread. Shiva, Brahma, Narayanaya. There are seeds everywhere. Shiva, Brahma, Om Namah Narayanaya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Thank you for reading. Okay, the next reader is Mervyn Taylor. Is Mervyn here? Mervyn? Does anyone see Mervyn Taylor?
I don't see a Mervyn.
Oh, because he responded to my email, but okay. So anyway, okay, so our next reader then is Joe Elliott. Is Joe here?
I'm here, Dorothy. Hi.
Hi, Joe. Okay, good to see you, Joe.
Nice
Joe
to be here.
Elliott is the author of And Everything by Spoit and Duyvil 2024 and co-hosts with Brendan Lorber the Over Here reading series at Lofty Pigeon Bookstore in Kensington, Brooklyn. Joe Elliott.
Thank you. It's great to be here with everyone. I can't find that poem about David Buckle, Barbara, or I'd read it right now. This is called Sister, it's all factual, this poem. Sister Mary Joseph versus Elon Musk, January 21st, 2025. The order of the alphabet, an order we all agree on, an order that has always been simply and directly accepted and implemented, an order by which no one particular group or individual profits at the expense of some other group or individual, is learned by song and retrieved by song. At first loudly and then silently, a song in the head and heart. I myself have sometimes muttered this song as I looked up a word in the dictionary, which I still use. And as I muttered, suddenly Sister Mary Joseph was with me again, although she wasn't muttering at all, not this mother, but intoning loudly and clearly, standing up straight, shoulders back, modeling for us upright comportment. Today I saw a car drive through a red light. It slowed and then, having looked, I suppose, for a camera and finding none, sped up and took a left just because it could. Today I watched a man scream at and threaten and intimidate another man because the other dog's man was barking, and the man's son, who was twirling his orange plastic sled in the air by the narrow entry to the park, was scared. The man glared and growled and barked at the other man and his dog because he could now. Today, a colleague who runs to work every day reported having been squeezed off the street by a black SUV with tinted windows, and when he smacked the side of the vehicle to let him know he was there, to push back against their intimidation games, the driver braked, jumped out, and chased my colleague on foot for blocks because he could, and because he was looking to, and because he's following a new order. Today, 6 students in my class were unable to use the dictionary during their quiz because, although they do know how to read, they do not know the order of the alphabet. They are no longer bound to every other citizen by an order each one of them accepts and implements. They are not singing or muttering it to themselves. Their kindergarten nun is no longer with them. Their phones are with them. The plutocrats of technology are with them, feeding them their orders, and they are not singing, that's for sure. This is called Go Bag. A friend of mine was sharing it, that he's obsessed about his Go Bag. You'll see. To begin with, since figurative language, along with ambiguity and playfulness and laughter, will by then be classified as treasonable acts, punishable by death, deportation, or just plain old extreme income inequality. I am packing one of those lightweight ponchos that fold up and fit in your palm for good coverage when the shit, truckloads of which no doubt will be commandeered by executive order from all over the country, hits the fan, the now stupidly enormous and monstrously literal fan. Secondly, a black and white studio photo of my mom, mid-30s, still beautiful, so that when the skirmishes between citizens waiting in line outside of Costco for toilet paper break out, at least this helpless baby will remember how to behave. My membership card to the No Matter What Club, which guarantees me unconditional gratitude for being here and certifies me as officiant to that dependable ritual of birdsong and sun coming up, so that thus my days amid the burgeoning chaos may always start well, with hope and in an orderly fashion. Other items, notebooks and pens, tiny squares of dark chocolate for energy and pleasure, and illuminations, which Mitch thinks is William's best, since all around me people will be dying every day for lack of what is found there. Right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. Our next reader is Barbara Rosenthal. Barbara?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes. Can.
Alright.
I know. Yeah.
But I'm reading all the lines that have the word resist in them from my novel Wish for Amnesia. Page 21. They fell toward one another, contorted, swollen figures, wrenching and lurching into areas of the car with
I'm sorry.
less resistant
Are you starting to read? I wanted to introduce you.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
Well,
Can I keep reading, or do you want me just to not read?
you cannot hear what I'm saying, but I do want the audience to know who you are. Can you wait a
Oh,
minute?
you want to read the bio?
That's right, the bio, right.
Oh, okay, good, because by then I'll probably be off the bus. Go ahead, please, mine.
Okay. Anyway, Barbara Rosenthal is an idiosyncratic New York artist, writer, performer, philosopher, whose work explores themes of idealism, innocence, aesthetics, dimensionality, thought, and corruption, with particular focus on the intersection between art and life. Barbara Rosenthal, go ahead.
Okay, ready? All right, these are the lines from my novel Wish for Amnesia that have the word resist in them. They fell toward one another, contorted, swollen figures, wrenching and lurching into areas of the car with less resistant human tissue. Page 44. Letty solicited Caroline's competition, and Letty irresistibly succumbed. Page 78. I suppose I can love her and forgive her anything because of her physical beauty, although I have tried to resist this. Page 113. Secretary General Rubin is the son of anti-Nazi resistance workers currently residing in Forest Hills, Queens. Page 199. Beatrice was already well disciplined in resisting the brain's short-sighted habit of organizing perspicacity too soon. She was well practiced in prohibiting distortion by accessing anything she already knew. Page 219 is 2. For months, she had resisted an urge to foil Jack's plans, but now she dropped her resistance. Page 227. Jewel was instructed not to resist, to relax and let herself think. That's all. Thank you very much for inviting me and for doing this reading today. I'm on my way to study art.
Okay. Are you finished? Yep.
I've been on your Zoom all day, but I had to leave, so I figured I would just, take it along with me, art and life, etc. So good luck with the rest of it. I'm gonna keep it on.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and last reader, and then I'll ask for Mervyn again before we conclude here, is Bill Considine. Bill Considine writes poems and plays. I should say first, Bill Considine, are you here?
I don't see him.
You don't see him. Okay. So then I guess that's it. Did Mervyn Taylor ever come in? Okay, well, anyway, he's a wonderful poet. They both are good poets, and sorry they're not here. So next, I am introducing the next co-host, which is Audrey Roth. Audrey Roth is the author of Arms Akimbo, A Journey of Healing, and has been published in ritualwell.com and other online publications. In 2023, she won a baseball poetry contest run by the National Baseball Poetry Festival. Audrey Roth.
Thank you, Dorothy. So I'm the fact that I won a baseball poetry contest should tell you a lot about me, which is that I'm not often serious, but for this I am. First, I want to thank Larissa, my dearest friend from childhood, my sister, who has been my mentor, my friend, my partner in quasi-crime, God, for decades and decades and decades. And also my sisters from our Writing Resilience group who have encouraged me, inspired me, and helped me to become what I would say is a real writer. And so I bow at your feet, all of you. Okay, I'm gonna read a poem called Understanding Sanity. I often start my poems with a little snippet of a song or a prayer, just to set the stage for where I am. When the world is sick, can't no one be well? And I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. Ana elna rifana la. Ana elna rifana la. A new plague time, no place or person safe, no Moses, no Jesus, no God, no Allah, no Buddha to save us. Amygdalae everywhere are in overdrive, overwhelmed, asking, do I fight, flee, freeze? Each of us has our own coping strategies essential to continued sanity in an insane time. I have come up with mine. 1, find joy every day. One tiny thing, a soupçon, the neon green budding leaves of spring, watching my daughter cook a meal via Zoom, laughing with my wife at things only we find funny, spotting a bunny on the lawn next door, the cacophony of birds chirping away, figuring out who done it halfway through the book, and always Shabbat. 2, delve deeply. I am a ponderer by nature and nurture. Drilling down and down and down is what I do. No shallow terrain for me. My ping pong brain shifts to overdrive, balls flinging hither, thither, and especially yon, until they settle momentarily, their chaos becoming my order. 3, be in community, not just on Shabbat, though definitely then. Reach out to trusted friends and family, offer support to the many in need, accept support from others with alacrity. Know that no one need be alone. There truly is strength in numbers. 4, girding of loins. I am a veteran loin girder, amygdala primed for a fight, oppositional and defiant, with New York City toughness honing inherent strength, fairness as a mantra, fortifying resolve, harnessing righteous anger, leading the charge, determined to reclaim democracy. The world is most definitely sick. No one is well. And our dream is a reality. We are all beautiful and strong. Thank you.
Audrey, one of Joni's readers, Edward Galt, just arrived.
Okay, so let's bring him in now.
Okay.
I'll read his, Joni, why don't you read his bio? If you can find it. I have everyone, so I can do it. Okay.
Here, if you like, I can read it.
Okay, thanks, Larissa.
Edward Galt is a Boston area poet and fine arts photographer, Dutchess County Poet Laureate 2023 to 2025, prize-winning poet and interdisciplinary artist. Joni would have introduced you beautifully, but thank you for being here.
So thank you very much for having me. This first one I'd like to read. I'm just going to read two quick ones. This first one is called The Trial, and it goes to trial. She stood before the judge and told him how the man had confronted her on the sidewalk. He had threatened to throw acid in her face if she did not do exactly as he told her to do. Frightened, she ran down the street into a side alley where she had hoped to lose him. But he was faster. He shoved her down and ripped through her clothing and raped her there. She said it seemed to last for hours. Nobody came to help her. She looked up to the judge. He looked to the man sitting passively at a nearby table. He motioned to the jury. They deliberated and came back. Guilty, they pronounced. The judge then pronounced the sentence. At that time, the woman was taken out and stoned. Okay, that was the trial, and hopefully here I got one that's a little lighter. So, no. And Andy's t-shirt, that should be a little more humorous. Okay, Andy's t-shirt. Sitting by Andy was a real pain most of the time because he got noticed more when he raised his hand. And he always gave the answer that I was just about to give. Then he got all the credit. But on this day, the day of the big exam, Andy wore his Table of Elements t-shirt. And sitting right behind him as I would have all the answers. If only the test was in chemistry and not history. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to continue with my group now. Valerie Duff is the author of To the New World, Salmon 2010, shortlisted for the Seamus Haney First Book Prize, and Aquamarine, Lily Poetry 2023. Valerie, can you unmute?
I should be unmuted. Can you hear me?
You are.
Great. Thank you, Audrey, for having me be part of this reading and for your wonderful contribution. I really enjoyed that very much. I'm also in Boston, and I thought that since we're feeling a lot of the resilience and resistance of the current moment, I would read one poem. It's about early Boston. It's called King Street, and there's an epigraph. In downtown Boston, after the reading of the Declaration of Independence, King Street turned into State Street. Prison Lane later became Court Street. The frost delayed bog onion, Cape Cod and Ancient Brow wild, and everywhere sailors crossed, passengers tracked through jetty moss,
replaced Shawmut with Massachusetts, thrived. Old seaweed paths from waterways wrapped in cheat fueled the white merchant, the wide rim of the harbor's ivory foam. The Charles roughed out an ice shelf. Snow fell and fell and fell. That next summer, when an angry mob decreed the lion crowned and unicorn with golden horn had royal prince, easier to have been a piece of fool's parsley cut in quarters, burned through that aphid-ridden summer. A whipping wind of smoke made blind workers on the waterfront, cinders in their faces. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And since we're both in Boston, we should meet up sometime. Okay, next up we have Jacob Stroutman. Jacob, you want to unmute? That would be great. Thanks. Jacob Stroutman is the author of The Land of the Dead is Open for Business, 2020. And new, why don't you say Vrindaban?
New Vrindavan.
Vrindavan. 2024, both from Four Way Books.
This is a poem from the first one you mentioned. It's called Mother's Day. Dig for potatoes. Brush the earth from their faces. Under the tap, scrub them with wool, like smoke, as the television scrolls with names. White letters on a blue background. Start the water to boil because you forgot to start it before. The dull propane hisses. The peeler chases your thumb around each one, over the sink, morning's one dish. A hand with a knife works them into halves, then quarters of themselves, then nothing. When you push them from the cutting board, scald your arm, wince, and sweep the rest with the knife's edge. This is necessary. It isn't the only thing left with which to fill your day, but nearly. It's nearly the only thing. Thank you.
Unmuting myself. Thank you so much, Jacob. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. And we're going out. The three of us are going out soon. Okay, next up, I'm very, very excited to introduce Maria Wisnant, who is a 14-year-old high school student, arts-based public school in Dayton, Ohio. She is a gold medal winner in the National Scholastic Art and Writing Awards and frequently performs at local poetry slams. And I will add personally, I'm honored that she is my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
Okay, I just have a very short poem today. It's called To the Buck on the Wall. To the buck on the wall. The hearth of your bones at the base of the trees hasn't stopped burning. It is an altar built from what will never die. It breathes and it waits, aching with the heaviness of light. It waits and it remembers and it hopes. Hope is a knobby twig of a woman. She has blood on her face and dirt under her fingernails. If you really watch, you can see her spit out a tooth as she pushes off of her knees. The blood on her cheek is a map. Tattooed on the side of her skull, do you know her somewhere in the back of your mind, the way a dying shout knows the wind it rides? Do you have this feeling you've met? Because she's still running from the hunters for you. There, she's just jumped over the creek. To the buck on the wall, to the men who cried from their souls, to the women of these nations and the booming of their voices and the silence that replaced them, to the dreamers that died in the coming of their time, to the children who are forever young. I am telling you, hope doesn't forget. She never learns. Do you know? Do you know how many times she is going to come back? Do you know she's proud of you for dying a death that never stops living, that will echo the sound of the bullet to your back every time she cracks her knuckles. Do you know she sings you like a requiem? She carries you like a promise in her fist. The weight of the sound of life crashing and breaking against the forest floor. There is something behind your eyes that I cannot define. But you're staring down time, aren't you? You're still betting on what you won't get to see.
Hey, you blew me away once again.
Thank you.
I've told Maria that she will definitely have a book published before she's 18. You got 4 years to go, Maria. Okay, next we have Sarah Epstein, who is also a friend and an amazing writer. Sarah Epstein has been writing poetry for as long as she can remember, except for the dry spells, which happen pretty often. Her first book of poetry, Bar of Rest, was published by Kelsey Books 2 years ago.
Sarah, you should see something that says the host is asking you to unmute.
Oops. Sarah.
There
Where
you
are you, Sarah? Did you get kicked off? It's possible she got kicked off or, fell off for some reason. She's been here the whole time. Oh, there you are. Wait, let me start. Wait, let's see if I can just unmute her. She might have skipped out for a second. Sarah, are you there? Okay. Nina, maybe when Sarah comes back, I will ask you to if I can do the introduction. Is that okay? Thanks, because I know she's been here the whole time. So I'm going to introduce then. Oh, Tom. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to introduce my dear friend and sister, Nina Glueckselig. Nina Glueckselig is a writer exploring themes of motherhood, the arts, her experience with depression, and being a daughter of Holocaust survivors. Her recent work has focused on the political crisis in the United States. Take it away, Nina.
Thanks, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. This poem is called I Advise, and it was written a couple months ago, so some of the tenses, things have happened since I wrote it. So anyway, there is nutmeg in the cabinet. How can anything be wrong? Hot water comes out of the shower and the house is. The snow is deep, the clouds low, the plants are growing. How can anything be wrong? We laugh at Starbucks. I open my computer and write. I take my Pablo pencils out and color fairies and dragons. How can anything be wrong? Will they come after the transgender barista? She is skinny with a tattoo of a meerkat. Will they raid Social Security? ICE deport innocents? Something is very wrong. I make a stretchy bracelet of deep purple phosphorite and sterling beads with dots and swirls. I make instant coffee with oat milk and sugar topped with cinnamon. I like it piping hot. How can anything be wrong? The dog barks at the cats. They don't hear him. That is his big problem. Why won't they play? Otherwise, everything is delightful. He is a of nature for the good. His tail is always. He sleeps next to me in bed, belly up. He didn't get the memo about trouble. How can anything be wrong? I get up in my quiet house. An occasional car drives by. I scroll Facebook, avoiding starting my day. I despair. I have to be careful. I'm afraid many things are wrong. Storms cause floods, fires, devastation, but climate change is a myth. Drill, baby, drill. National parks will overflow with garbage. Hang gliding and amusement parks will be built where people hiked. Gaza will become a Trump resort. Congress is cowed. Something is very wrong. There are those that think 6 million dead is a hoax, a deadly virus, hysteria. Vaccines don't work and cause autism. I believe love always wins. Not all people are bad. Words have power. Reject cruelty, foster respect and resilience, resist evil. What do I tell my children? They know where we come from. I never thought in my lifetime. They are silent on the phone. I want to tell them everything will be okay. I taught them to be good and just. I have to believe what I say. How can anything be wrong? Something is very wrong. Thank you. So next we have Amy Moss Musiker. Amy, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Amy Moss Musiker, a retired chartered financial analyst originally from Brooklyn, currently resides on her historic property in Glenmont, New York, seeking to create a neighborhood, and is compelled to add her voice about our current danger.
Hi, can you see me? Because I can't really see myself. You can see me?
I can't.
Okay, because it says that the video is on. Anyway, I'll just.
I see a little dog.
You see a dog?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why. I think it just must be. Oh, you know what? Can you see me now? Okay. Anyway, good to see all of you. Thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm a little out of my my comfort zone, and anyway, I didn't write a poem. I just wrote a tiny little essay, and this is it. Okay. I wish you could see me, but it says video. I don't know why. Anyway, in my moments of feeling ineffective, perhaps I am inadequately armed to withstand and vet the constant barrage of highly capitalized words and arrows. Words, period. I search for solutions of action. Then I remember how the world was created by words, and on the seventh day, God rested. This tornado storming to us, an embryonic eye that is gathering energy from the sycophantic herd, plastic-faced, bleached blonde figurines of injustice, our elected who are unwilling to dissent, too eager to curry favor from the unfavored. How do we avert it? Is it through words? Or are we just the storm watchers observing the unchangeable? My mother is a Navy veteran from World War II. My father, an Army veteran from the same war. In their honor, in their memory, I cannot remain silent. Silent is complicity. Their generation, our parents, endured too much, sacrificed too much to allow their memories not to be a blessing. At night, I ask my mother, what do I do? But I don't hear from you, dispelling any belief that I may have had that you are watching over me from above or perhaps even from below. For the first time, I'm glad you're dead because this nightmare would surely kill you. In the absence of an answer from you, I am forced to use my own being to forge some sort of solution that feels good in my soul. So words are okay, song is better. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, but she doesn't. So my intention is to write more, to sing and dance more, to laugh with others, and to create a community where I live, to bring people together, to be a force of light that helps to dispel this darkening storm. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Amy. That was very strong and powerful. And next we have someone I'm related to, my husband, Bill Wirt. He's a graphic artist and animal lover who believes in the power of the spoken word and wants to add his voice to the cause of political freedom.
Hello there, and I am right now getting moral support from my cat Simon, who's on my lap. This is a poem I wrote called Last Last Call. Close, folks, so drink 'em down. And, well, sir, it was a good run. 236 years, give or take. And sure, some performers were better than others, some plot twists more believable than others, but all in all, it was a pretty good run. So hoist 'em up and drink to that. But here we are now, and the gas heart of America is burning out. Lub-dub. Nothing lasts forever, and I guess, and it was bound to happen. It's burning out, it's burning down, and taking no prisoners. And we're all trapped in the inferno, and it looks like the fireman who started the blaze, and that vital heart is barely pumping. So here we are on life support, and we lift our eyes skyward, and we meekly murmur a silent prayer to the heavens to find that fighting spirit for one more time. But God's dull tears have evaporated. No more cavalry to charge in at the last instance, because the cavalry is coming for us. No more truth, justice, in the American way. I am justice, I am America. And fellas, I'm just as sick at heart as the rest of you. Sick of single bloated, bloviating bilge rat has brought us onto this. And fingers crossed we'll come out of the other side, if there is another side that still exists. No doubt scathed and scarred, but somehow still surviving. But for now, let's raise just one more toast. One more toast into that better future. Gentlemen, God bless America and the horse she rode in on.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks so much. Oh, I got to do something now. Oh, okay. Now for our special surprise guest introduced by Larissa Shmailo.
All right. Is Eve Packer here? Well, that was our special surprise guest.
I'm going to go ahead and let people unmute themselves. I don't think there's any trolls that have made it this long.
That's your surprise, Larissa. She's not here.
So anyway, thank you all. You've been wonderful, but we still have a part of the program. We have the open mic, and I'd like to introduce Iris Gersh, who we know from Writing Resilience. She joined in Writing Resilience workshop for over 2 years. Her book, 1,000 Questions, was published by Finishing Line Press in December 2020 during the pandemic. Iris, would you read for us, please? She was here before. She's not here now.
Iris, if you're here, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
All right, is Charles Frederick here?
Hang on one second, Larissa. Sarah Epstein, who was not, there were some technical glitches, is back now from my cohort. May I introduce her? And
you definitely may. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, Sarah, you can.
Audrey, I just came to listen, actually.
Oh, you're not going to read?
I'm not going to read today.
Well, forget it then. Never mind, Larissa.
I had a poem that I was looking for, but it disappeared from my computer. So I'm sorry about that.
We'll catch you next time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Charles Frederick?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can. I will read your part of your bio. Charles Frederick has been a griot poet since the late 60s. He composes his work within mobilizations for peace and justice. Take it away, Charles.
I'm going to read a small fable called Earth Day. She could only hope those who were left hoped someday would understand why she had to do what she was about to do. Never had she wished to cause pain to anyone or anything. But every day the news had gotten worse and the devastation grew. So finally, she could no longer avoid that the time had come. She could not risk even a farewell embrace to those who had most trusted her love when she had seemed gentle, like a mother, a lover, a sister. It was spring when the critical moment arrived, making it easier to leave messages only those who should know would know. She asked every sprouting leaf to display a vein of red, a sharp departure from the prevailing new and tender green, a sign the danger had now fully erupted. She could hear the panting beast coming closer and closer and gaining ground. The leaves accepted the command and responded. As they hurriedly unfurled, the forest throughout was remade into radiations of the runic message. The time had come. The time had come. As a traveling coat, she wore a talismanic, long cape of softened birch bark, appearing like a silver patch of the worried, cloudy sky. It would keep her warm and dry as she began what she had to do, which might even take her life. For now she ran and she gathered. She ran and she cried out. The others began to follow as though a stream had broken loose after the thawing of winter, tearing out its own new paths through the forest and its forward rush and flood. They all knew now the time had come, and they too must catch up with her and run.
Thanks so much, Charles. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Marietta Maglis was having technical difficulties before. Is she on now? Audrey, would you like to introduce Tom Yule?
He's not here yet. I think we're going to have to skip him because he's not going to be available till after, I don't know, like 6:15 or so. So I think he's going to have to just come to the next event we do.
The next event, I look forward to that. You guys were wonderful. Congratulations, everybody. I want to thank my co-curators, Dorothy Friedman August, Audrey Roth, Nina Glueckselig, Martha Kaplan, Joanie Zosike, Elizabeth Morse, and you guys. I don't have words. This was wonderful, and congratulations on raising your voices and assembling in community today.
I just want to say that, Larissa, it's all because of you. It's you're my muse, my mentor. You bring life and light to us all, and you bring brilliance unmatched and love and kindness, and I love you a lot. Thank you.
I love you dearly, my friend, my oldest friend.
You're older than me.